set to become the third largest economy in the world by 2030, says S&P Global Ratings, predicting that the country will be recording 7% GDP growth rate by the financial year 2026 to 2027. Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra, and in this video I'm going to tell you everything that S&P Global Ratings agency has pointed out in its recent report about the Indian economy and why they believe that India is poised for higher growth rate and is all set to claim the third spot when it comes to the largest economies in the world. S&P Global has mentioned that India is set to become the third largest economy by 2030, and they also expect that it will be the fastest growing major economy in the next 3 years. The ratings agency has said this in its latest Global Credit Outlook for 2024. India, remember, is currently the fifth largest economy in the world behind US, China, Germany and Japan. Now, US, which is the largest economy in the world currently, it makes up for quarter of the world's GDP at $25.5 trillion. US is followed by China, which has an economy size of $18 trillion. Japan has a size of $4.2 trillion of GDP, and Germany has a size of $4 trillion of GDP as well. The S&P Global Ratings Agency in its latest report has said that a paramount test will be whether India can become the next big global manufacturing hub, which could be an immense opportunity for India, developing a strong logistics framework, and that will be key in transforming India from a services-dominated economy all the way into a manufacturing-dominant one. S&P in its report has also mentioned that India's GDP growth will be recorded at 6.4% in the current fiscal year ending March 2024. Remember, this will be slower than the previous year's growth that was seen at 7.2% registered in the year before. The ratings agency also sees the growth rate for India at 6.4% even for 2024 to 2025, which means a stagnancy on 2024 to 2025 fiscal year as well. But they expect the GDP to climb to 6.9% in the financial year 2025 to 2026, and then thereafter climb up above the 7% mark in the fiscal year 2026-2027. They also see that India will reach this 7% growth rate in 2026-27 fiscal year. Now, according to the agency, India will be able to realize its demographic dividend if it can unlock the labor market potential by upskilling the workers and introducing more women to the workforce. Unlocking the labor market potential will largely depend upon upskilling the workers and then increasing the female participation in the workforce, and that is going to be key in helping India achieve a 7% growth rate as per S&P Global. They also mention that success in these two areas: one, India turning into a manufacturing hub, a global manufacturing hub, and two, India upskilling the labor market, increasing the number of laborers by including the female workforce, will help enable India to realize its demographic dividend. This is what the S&P agency has said in its latest report. They've also mentioned that a booming domestic digital market can also fuel expansion in India's high growth startup ecosystem during the next decade, especially in both financial as well as the consumer technology area as well. Also, they have mentioned that in the automotive sector, India is poised for growth, building on infrastructure, investment and innovation. The three I's, infrastructure, investment and innovation, will definitely help India move up higher the ladder when it comes to GDP growth as well as when it comes to the largest economy size as well. So what they essentially expect is that India over the next 3 years is poised for a high growth path, will remain the fastest growing major economy in the world, And of course, when it comes to the ranking, they expect that India will turn into the third largest economy by 2026, 2027, and therefore will climb up above Japan and Germany as well. Right now, we are at the fifth spot after US, China, Germany and Japan. The S&P Global Ratings Agency expects that we will leave behind Japan, which is at $4 trillion, and Germany, which is a little higher than $4 trillion, and we will be the third largest after US and China pretty soon in the near future. And this comes as another big news and a shot in the arm of the global ratings agency's belief in the Indian economy. With that, we will wrap up this special edition, but do stay tuned as a lot of action continues on the other side for you only on Business Today Television.